There are some amazing new cars currently on the market, each with luxury features to make your life that bit easier.
But what if your car is a 1998 Nissan Patrol?
Welcome to Dawn Adventures. Depending on the money you want to spend, there are some outstanding setups for second batteries and inverters.
Oh, well, you got a fridge, you've got lithium. There's 200 amp hours of lithium. It's got switches everywhere. It's got inverter. It's got the red vision with double screen. There's lights. It's got a rubberized coating on it.
You know your canopy's getting like up to the cost of the vehicle, bit by bit, huh?
It's probably hitting maybe 55.
It'd be 50 grand in your canopy, no problem.
Okay, there's 50. Put her on. Put 50 on.
Let's talk inverters now. I have a 700 watt inverter. I almost said 750. It's a 700 watt inverter. It's a Red Arc inverter. Happens to be.
Let me introduce you to the switchboard. So this is where the switchboard's tucked away. So the switchboard itself is made out of very high density fiberboard. It's actually stuff that you can pick up, or I pick up at my local electrical supply store. And it's pretty cool because it's actually fireproof. But it's also just a really nice thickness to work with as well. So that's why I use it. Plus it's already got a surface on it, so it looks kind of all right without painting it too. So there's the DC-DC charger. There's the inverter. There's a 300 watt inverter. Now you may be wondering,
Obviously, your battery setup doesn't need to be as extravagant as the All for Adventure boys, and the 50 grand was referring to fridges and other equipment they had in the canopy. The battery setup they have though is worth about $6,000 installed. On the other hand, Mick here from Seek Adventure does everything himself and saves money, but still has an amazing setup. Now, I'm not as clever as Mick, but want to show you the cheap option I use in the old Nissan so you too can have power on your next trip away. Okay, so there's not actually room for a second battery in here. So we've just got the one battery under the hood and then we've put the other battery in the car. Really basic setup. I'm no mechanic, but we've got an isolator in here as well. And then we've got our wiring running through the car and into the back seat. I chose to put the battery in the back seat so that it wasn't all the way in the boot, I guess you'd call it, because when it was sitting in the boot, it was really hard to be able to pack everything that you wanted in there because it was sort of a bit of a funny shape. You're trying to pack things over the top of it and it was really impeding when we were packing. So we've actually put the second battery in the back seat, in the footwell, so that it keeps it out of the way of the boot. We don't usually have anyone travelling with us, it's normally just the two of us, so putting things on the back seat or in the footwell of the back seat there doesn't really matter. So we ran the wiring underneath the pedals, so it comes through under that front seat and then it comes to our second battery, which is sitting in that footwell of our back seat. We've got a bit of stuff everywhere, but it really does do the job. It's a really cheap option, but it does the job. I've got a 1500 watt inverter in there as well. 1500 watt is pretty high, however I wanted to be able to run a blender from there as well, so it needs to be relatively high. In that inverter, I've just got a little power board, and from that power board I can run our batteries that need charging, so GoPro, or if it was our drone or anything else that needs to be charged, that all goes through that as well. I plug in the Engel just straight into the battery as well, so that housing over the battery has got a spot just to be able to put that straight in there. So despite it being a fairly cheap and easy option, it really does do the job because no matter where we are, we've got electricity, so we've got power for anything that we need it for, and we've got that ability to keep the fridge going overnight and not worry that the main battery is going to lose all its charge. So we know every morning when we pick the car over that it's definitely going to start because we've got the second battery. There it is, the easiest dual battery setup there is, but it has helped us have that peace of mind in some amazing places around WA. This setup cost me $550, which is a 115 amp hour battery and the 1500 watt inverter. If you're interested in watching the videos from other channels featured in this episode, the links are in the description below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, it does help us out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
So this is pretty high-tech stuff in the back of the car, but this is where we've got our inverter set up with our dual battery system. So just on top of the angle, we'll get that going. No, we won't. We will turn the inverter on, and then we will